Hi everyone, Azriel Knight here, and today I'm doing my first impressions on the Kyocera Samurai. The Kyocera Samurai, also known as the Yashica Samurai, it's a really strange camera. First off, this is a 35mm half-frame camera, so a 36 roll actually shoots 72 frames. I don't think I'm going to be able to shoot 72 frames today. I have a hard enough time shooting 36 frames. It looks like a camcorder, so I'm probably going to be looking like a freak today. For that reason, I picked a less populated area. I'm also parked somewhere I shouldn't be. Well, questionably somewhere where I shouldn't be, near a construction area. This is a mostly automatic camera. I also haven't figured out a way to turn off the flash. I'm hoping it doesn't go off all the time. There seems to be only a few settings on here. Auto flash, nighttime without flash, auto flash nighttime, flash daytime. So likely the auto flash won't go off if it thinks there's enough light, but flash daytime will probably go off no matter what. I couldn't even confirm if it read the right ISO on this. I'm using Ilford FP4 Plus. It's 125 ISO. I want to shoot at box speed. I'm going to be developing it at box speed. So I'm hoping this thing works out. It's got a bit of a zoom as well. Man, that sounds bad. All right, let's get a shot of selfie through the phone. Yeah, it's a 25 to 100mm equivalent, f3.8 to 4.8. Oh, and I got the date set on here too. I don't know if it's going to stamp the date or not, but it's on here. So I'm near something right now called the Rundle Ruins. A lot of people get their wedding photos taken here because it's really beautiful, actually. And there seems to be a couple other abandoned structures in the area, but I'm mostly going to be focusing on the ruins. If you've ever heard of something called the Bathroom 100, I'm going to try and do an equivalent of that, but 72. Except not 72, because I did open the back of this in the darkroom to make sure that the film wound to the first frame. I didn't want to take any chances today. So I lost a few frames there, probably 4, or in this case 8. Yeah, let's get started. Now, the problem that I have with auto is that I never know if it's at a shutter speed that I can comfortably handhold. And quite a few of my shots so far are zoomed in. At shot number 23, still feeling some creative juices left in me. The first thing that I immediately notice about this camera is that the viewfinder, you can't cram your eye right up to it or it doesn't show up properly. It's hard to explain. The only way I can explain it is like when you're looking into your focusing loop in the darkroom, you have to have your eye a little bit further away so you can actually see what's in the lens. Oh man, do I have to be careful. I just about ended up on my ass. Cell phone, samurai and everything. Yeah, so sometimes I'm just taking a couple extra shots for insurance. Oh, that was fun. Okay, at shot number 41, I do feel like I've tapped out that area. Next thing on my list is the abandoned house near where I parked. And there's a fence around it, but you know, maybe I could shoot through it. Okay, I think I got a few good shots of the house. One thing that I definitely missed was this building at the corner here. Right back there. Looks like shit right now. But hopefully it won't on film. It was easier to shoot the entire roll than I figured, but to be honest, I was experimenting more. I was being a little bit more liberal with my angles, and yeah, I had a great time. There were three main things I hit. It was the Rundle, abandoned Rundle area, the abandoned house, basically right where I'm parked here, and then what looks like an old-fashioned commercial building, which may or may not be open. So now I'm going to head home and into the darkroom and get these photos developed. Okay, I'm back home now, I'm in the darkroom, and I'm ready to develop this roll. Okay, at first glance, the images, they look great. There's a lot of photos, and I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to scan them in yet. I feel like scanning in all 68, it's probably going to have to be done by hand. And what I mean by hand is my software is not going to automatically recognize the size of the thumbnail. I'm going to have to scan preview the whole strip and then individually pick them out. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Okay, so cutting the negatives was actually a lot easier than I thought. You would think that strips of 12 would be the way to go if normally you cut them into strips of 6. But I went with 11 just to make sure there was enough room on my scanner. And wouldn't you know it, I actually shot 66 instead of 68, and now I've got this nice perfect alignment. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to mess that up for demonstration purposes. Oh man, that is really going to mess with some people. Okay, so here's your typical 35mm frame, APS, and our half frame camera. This looks smaller to me. I suppose I could have just checked online, but this is more fun. It's the same height, but it's not as wide. I wonder if this would fall into the APS-C size category. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's take a look at today's highlights, and then I'm going to talk a bit about the camera. Okay, so let's start with the positive. It was more comfortable to hold in my hand than I had expected. The grip here was really comfortable. Just slip your hand inside and you're ready to go. The film was super easy to load and uncomplicated. I do like how there is a very short distance between where the film starts and where it gets wound. Just a teeny little spot here. I like that. It probably means it's more likely that your film will lay flat. Yeah, loading the film was really easy. I was just able to place the camera down, lift this, and pop it right in. No fiddling with a door that was flapping back at me. Yeah, super easy to load. The flash did not go off on all occasions, as I had feared. I was really happy about that. All right, now on to the negatives. And unfortunately, I think the list is a little longer. The first negative might just be this camera, but I found that the telephoto, you had to press it pretty hard. The viewfinder is also among the worst I've seen. I just didn't like it. I mean, I really can't say that I like the look of it. I don't like the idea of walking around with something that looks like a mid-2000s camcorder or even older. Of course, making it fully automatic doesn't help its case either. The frame is also even smaller than an APS, and because this is smaller than a 35mm frame, that means fat, chunky grain. That all being said, I was impressed with the exposure and the autofocus. Oh, also, before I forget, big thank you to Liam for loaning me this camera. So given the chance, would I shoot with this camera again? Probably not. I would consider, however, an all-manual version of this camera. I was thinking I might do some research, but probably not. Yeah, I think despite all its other shortcomings, that is the main thing that holds me back, is that lack of control. Yeah, there's really not much else to say about it. It's an automatic camera. I think it's way too big to be an automatic camera. While it does feel good in the hand, it makes you look like an idiot. And it's just one of those weird, random cameras that probably not too many people have heard of because it was so unconventional and too unconventional. I think if you're gonna make something that unique, you should probably try and appeal to the semi-pro or even the professional. If you're gonna have a camera that lowers the image quality, don't make it fully automatic too. But that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please remember to like, share, and subscribe, or you could consider becoming my patron on Patreon. And until next time, stay classic.